Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live. Peace.
All right, we are live. TBV West Coast Bake. Wait, hold on. TBV West Coast Wake and Bake. It's been a while. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Patreon. We are back. It's been a bit. It's been, I don't know how long it's been since we've done an episode all together, guys.
Right.
It's been months, to say the least. JP, good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's been good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. And it's great seeing you guys, man. It's been a while.
It's
been a
while.
Yeah, you know, because the Patreon family has seen probably Fern, Santiago, Joe, and me just because of the Border Wars footage. JP, you've been out of it for a bit. Just wanted to give you that quick little introduction right there.
Thank you, sir.
And as it is, Wake and Bake, Fern, please light that shit up. And we're going to talk tons of boxing, tons of topics. It could be anything. You know how it is. Joe might get the giggles again. You know, God knows what we're going to get today. And it's mainly tonight's Wake and Bake. It will probably be either posted late tonight or tomorrow morning, but we're going to keep the name. I know Fern wanted the evening roll up, but sorry, fuck that. You know, stability, you know, we're going to keep Wake and Bake. It's a classic name. Joe, how you doing, man?
Happy New Year's, brother.
Happy New Year, man.
I haven't seen you.
Have we not? No, we've seen each other. No, we Monday, bro.
Oh, it's right. That's right.
I sparred Santiago 6 rounds.
That's right.
That was this week.
Yeah,
that was this week.
Yes, remember,
Happy
keep that
New
mic
Year's.
close to your mouth, everyone. They can't hear you unless the mic's close to you.
Happy New Year's, TBB fam.
Yes, yeah. Santiago, brother, how are you?
Sore, tired, nothing new. Closed out camp.
Santiago, hand that shit. Come on. I know you're not smoking, but you can pass it.
Right.
Closed out camp on Thursday. Did 4 rounds of sparring. Was at the gym from 1:30 to 10. And all in all, had a pretty good session. I'm ready for what Tuesday has to bring, and I'm definitely looking forward to the weigh-in.
Fern, how are you, brother?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Definitely talk louder, by the way,
All right.
Fern. You gotta talk louder.
All right, my bad, guys. But yeah, no, I'm well, guys. I'm exhausted, like Santiago said. I mean, I started my camp on August 16th and been going to the gym Monday through Friday until, what was the date today? 13th?
Probably. I don't know.
Saturday the
Hey,
14th.
let me tell you guys who haven't been a part of the border wars like I haven't, and we're just listening. Man, these guys look like fighters. They are all in tremendous shape since I've last seen them. And they've all slimmed down. Matt is looking cut, ripped, and mean Bruce Lee like. Santiago has lost massive amounts of weight. Fern is looking like Alexis Arguello. I mean, and Joe is over there just lean and mean, 200 push-ups a day, back is wide. I mean, I'm telling you, man, West Coast, we coming for a 4-0 sweep. I'm telling you, these guys are looking amazing.
JP, thank you for those ringing words of admiration and just credit, man. Thank you. I mean, and that goes for all Border Wars contestants, not just West Coast. Texas, Canada, even. All you guys. I mean, we've all been putting in work. UK. Mitty doesn't count. I'm sorry, Mitty does not count. He has a fight coming up, and he's a professional boxer. Right. This is his everyday life. Like, he's picking on a fat doomie that's been eating donuts for months, okay?
Wait, but Doomy is putting in the miles, though, right?
Okay, here's the thing. By putting the miles, you mean like he's just running miles, like he's doing the work? Yeah, but he's not changing his diet. As far as I know, because the weight's not being cut.
Okay.
And I put it this way. When we got news of pretty much all this happening, we're back in August, right?
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
Right? He weighed 190 then. He gained weight in between camp. Don't burn the cord. What are you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
you know, so like if you're gaining weight, I'm sorry. I love you, bro. I love you, but come on. Correct your shit. Correct your shit.
Has his body composition changed? There's such a thing as that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. Like, he's lost some fat. He's definitely gained some weight. Thank you.
Isn't his weight revealed tomorrow?
He said he was below 200 pounds, I think either today or last night.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. I don't care if you're below 200 pounds. You're supposed to fight at 175. Your fight's on Tuesday.
You gotta let it rock.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Joe.
Go ahead, man. Y'all continue.
Live television. We could actually edit this out. I mean, this isn't technical. It's live because we're on Google Hangout, but like,
This how we get
it down. It's the weight.
Raw and uncut.
Wake him. Make it tighter, Joe, please. Don't worry about that table. Or maybe put something on top of it. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. We're going to go with it. I know Joe had some Patreon topics we're going to get to, obviously. You know,
We good?
it's good enough. I'll just hold it like this. Don't worry about it. Let's get to those Patreon topics before we get to any of our individual topics. As you guys on Patreon are the reason why the show's here. This is obviously a Patreon-only show. Oh, man, you are the worst friend that, like a friend of stoners. I hope you know that. The worst.
This goes out to Dr. Mafungo. What's up, my boxing brother? Can't wait to see you again, man, when I come back to New York. But Dr. Mafungo had a question. As we get closer to the Triple G Canelo 2 becoming official, could you break down each fighter's approach to the rematch and what adjustments each should make based off what you saw in their first fight to come away with the victory? Thank you always, fellas.
JP, you want to take that one first?
Yeah. For Canelo to be victorious, I think he has to take more risk. And that is a risk fighting a puncher like Golovkin. I think with that, we've seen Canelo try to finesse his way to a victory and not work enough. And similarly to Danny Jacobs, where he didn't take enough risk and allowed himself to be outworked. So for Canelo to win, he's going to have to take more risk. For Golovkin, I think he'll come in with the same mindset of, I'm going to just outwork this guy. He likes to take time off in rounds. I'm going to just keep a jab in his face, keep putting my hands on him, and I'll just outwork him. If the knockout it comes, and I'll go to his body earlier this time.
Fern?
Same thing. He has to go to the body. Triple G has to go to the body in order to be able to slow Canelo down. How did you guys feel about Canelo's cardio? I think he slowed down a little towards the end.
I think he slowed down in the middle round, and then he got a second win, to be completely honest. I think he did actually pretty good, like around 9 to 12. But like rounds 5 to 8,
That's when he took a break.
He took a break right there, and Triple G got some momentum. And I think the perception of the fight, not the reality of the fight, but the perception of the fight, for some people did not change, even though the momentum probably changed in that 9th or 10th round. Just being honest. But Santiago, some points.
Yeah, I obviously feel the same way as you guys do, that more risk and try to be a little bit more offensive oriented, because his defense was on point for that fight. But you can't just win the fight, Willie Pep style anymore. This is a fight where you got to make sure that you're balanced in offense, your defense, and that everything is working in place. Otherwise, Triple G has nothing to think about except for coming forward, putting the aggression, working the body, wearing him down. And he is not the kind of guy who's going to come in there thinking, I'm going to knock this guy out. If he can get the win through sheer workforce, he's going to get the win through sheer workforce.
Info?
I have to agree with you guys. Canelo's going to have to take more risks. He can't
very quickly,
lapses in between.
Very quickly before you finish, because I think we all sort of agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
But what does that mean, take more risks? Does that mean purely just throwing more? Does that mean staying in the pocket longer? Does it mean all of the above?
The aggressor.
Be the aggressor, but I don't even know if he needs to be the aggressor. He was counterboxing very well.
Yeah, he was.
Is it just throwing more counters? Is it just purely throwing counter combinations? What is that taking risk that we all say?
To me, it's making sure that you land punches that have emphasis on them. And so, like when we seen in Mayweather's area, whereas his volume was very small, the punches he did land were clear and had emphasis on them. So if you're going to be the guy who's being outworked, or the guy who has the lower volume, your punches have to be really good, clear, and crisp. And so for similarly, Jacobs and Canelo, they just didn't land. They were about 6 shots short for the fight, I'd say, where you say if they landed 6 more shots that were clear and had emphasis on them, you'd have clearly gave both of them the fight. 6 more shots, clear, they win the fight. That's what I think it means when we say taking more risks. It encompasses that.
I agree. Joe, you want to finish up your points?
Canelo has to be the aggressor sometimes. He can't just let Triple G, because that's what gave the perception to make the rounds a little bit even, is that he was the aggressor and he was the counter puncher. But you know how judging is, people tend to see who the guy who's coming forward the most.
Look at Harold Letterman, the Harold Letterman scoring mentality. We all know what that is.
He's going to want to win the fight, and somebody has to sell out, and meaning both of them, to have a defining winner.
allow yourself to be completely outworked and expect to win a fight. If Triple G is working 80% of the round or 70 and you're working 30, you gotta land really good punches. You have to. If you don't, you just can't win the fight.
I agree. And unfortunately, we may all agree here that 30% might be more effective than that 70%. We may think that, but we're all hardcore boxing fans. We see the minutia. Some of these judges, I would say, are not hardcore fans of the sport, or are not like they don't know the sport intently like some of us do. I agree. I mean, from my point on what both guys need to do, I think I agree with everyone here. I do think Triple G needs to throw with more intent, with more force. Like there's a lot of pity pat shots. And I use that term very loosely with Triple G, obviously. But there was a sense of like he's just throwing just to stay busy.
He had a lot of setup shots.
I think that it wasn't. I think Canelo made him have to throw like that because he couldn't land nothing clean. Because Canelo's defense, man, we had to admit that it was better than.
So if Triple G, let's say, threw with full force, Canelo was too fast. So no matter lower the power and increase the speed, so to speak,
exactly,
in order to catch Canelo.
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
You don't think so?
I don't buy that.
But this time I think it'll be different where I think Canelo would get the win if the fight turns out the same as it did last time, because I think we're going to have some fatigue in seeing Triple G just kind of working pity pat all night. I think people are going to see Triple G hurt people.
And he hasn't hurt someone in a bit.
Exactly. And I don't want to see kind of this sloppy kind of, I'm just keeping my hands thing on you all night. And I don't see Triple G hurt somebody because that's what I am accustomed to see Triple G doing. And so if Canelo does land, though, maybe say those 4 or 5 extra shots and Triple G does outwork him, I still think we may see Canelo get the W.
Quick prediction on everyone for everyone here on the Canelo Triple G fight. JP?
Canelo unanimous decision.
Canelo unanimous decision because of his cardio going up.
If Canelo does improve on his cardio and can be a little bit more offensive oriented and not just completely defensive, I give it to Canelo by split decision.
I give it to Canelo. Who all picked Canelo the first time?
I didn't pick Canelo the first time.
I didn't.
I got Triple G.
Hold on. Very quickly. I think we're this entire group here all picked Triple G the first time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
And we're all picking Canelo the second time. I wanted to get into this on this show, especially with JP here, because JP is the best at like analyzing big picture stuff.
Yeah.
The perception of Triple G and how the 180 from 2016 to 2018 and the year that 2017 had on Triple G's legacy potentially and persona and everything attached to Triple G as a boxer changed in 2017. I think 2018 is the fall of Triple G. And I wonder how that's going to be perceived as the fans. If we're all picking, let's all assume we're right here, that Canelo beats Triple G in May. Is Triple G, I'm going to use this word, it's going to be very hyperbolic, but is he done? Is Triple G's time at the top of the division absolutely done if he loses to Canelo in May?
No.
Does anyone else agree with him?
I don't. I think that he would want to probably retire. I think there's even been
maybe not retire, but he's definitely not going to be a champion.
Like being at the top.
Being at the top. That's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't beat the Charlos, the Billy Joe Saunders, the Daniel Jacobs in a rematch. He doesn't beat those guys if he loses to Canelo in May. Like it's the sign that he has done. It's what happened to Roman Gonzalez against Sirkat. Is that what we're about to see?
I would probably pick Charlo against Triple G, but if Triple G lands clean.
He did land clean.
I mean, no. Canelo was good with turning it with all of those shots or catching him on the shoulders. I think he did hit him a few times, but I think if he landed enough clean punches on a person, I think that's the last thing to go with your power.
I don't believe he has the power to finish Canelo.
So are we saying that we're going to see Triple G start to get smoked like we seen Gonzalez?
I'll put it this way. We might see what...
Is that what you're trying to say? He's going to be a Chocolito?
Maybe not that. Maybe like a Pacquiao. Like, where like Pacquiao had success after a Marquez loss. Right? Like, he didn't have complete failures.
He hasn't lost to anyone other than Mayweather, right? And he knocked out
Horn?
a few dudes in between.
Horn? He lost to Horn.
But
and then the Jesse Vargas fight, yeah, he beat Jesse Vargas, but that's Jesse Vargas. And Timothy Bradley retired after the fight. Come on, man. Timothy Bradley even said he had migraine and shit, man. Timothy Bradley couldn't take a punch anymore.
Hold on, man. So I'm still one of these dudes that I'm not dismissing Pacquiao from a conversation of being a top welterweight. I believe he beat Horn, and he lost to Floyd Mayweather, and he's only taken that Marquez. He's about to kill.
Okay, we're getting lost in the weeds here. Okay.
Wait a minute, am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong, man. Manny Pacquiao's a different fighter, man. Like, you can change overnight.
I thought he beat
He had a
Horn,
tough time. He
man.
had a tough
So-
time.
so-
with Horn.
Even if you think he beat Horn, he had a tough time with him. Like Fern said, you have to admit that. He had a hell of a time with a untested prospect that we all clowned.
But you know what? We're about to see how good Horn, how tough he really is.
We won't know. What do you mean?
When the guy's on the up and up,
Crawford can make him look like
trash.
trash. Hold on. Crawford can make him look like trash, and that doesn't mean anything. Crawford made everyone look like trash.
So
Crawford's made everyone look like trash.
So is this to say that we assume that Manny Pacquiao wouldn't be competitive against Errol Spence?
He would not be competitive against Earl Spence.
I think he's too small.
Too small.
You
I
can
think
you
he'd
can
be
name any
competitive.
top welterweight, and I'm picking them against Pacquiao in 2018.
I picked Manny Pacquiao against Danny Garcia.
You are absolutely wrong, sir.
Oh my God!
you are absolutely wrong.
I think I
fucking
me and you.
No, 2 years ago,
Man.
2 years ago, I would have said yes. 2 years ago, I would have said yes, but no, it's not 2 years ago, man. It's 2018, man.
Why does Danny Garcia trash Manny Pacquiao?
The same way that Jeff Horn was. He'd be able to use his size. He'd be able to use his strength. He'd be able to bully him on the inside in the clinch. He'd be able to counter him when Manny Pacquiao comes in for those combinations. Jeff Horn was Jeff Horn continued to counter him every time Pacquiao would jump in with a
You
combination.
know what it is,
I
y'all?
think Jeff Horn's
I
an
got it.
animal.
I got it.
You got it? You got what?
I got it.
Gotta get another
No,
joint.
these
Please.
welterweights now of this new generation are bigger than the Mayweather Pacquiao
Well,
generation.
that's not
welterweights.
accurate to say that.
No. Zach, just think about it.
No.
Zach,
Hold on. Joe.
These Spence,
Joe,
Kell Brook,
he's going on his shit. He's gotten high, gentlemen.
man, them dudes can be fighting at 154.
Joe, those guys started at 130. Spence and Thurman started at 147. Like those guys are moving up before they're done their career. Different. Like Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard moved up because they started at 147. Mayweather started at 130. Oscar De La Hoya started at 130. So of course those guys were smaller at welterweight than a guy that is naturally at 19 years old, 147 pounds.
You have to. But I just don't see.
What you think Jamal James walk around at?
Jamal James is at.
Natural welterweight. He could be fighting at 154.
Of course he can. So could Tommy Hearns back in the day.
Sean Porter. My point is Sean Porter could be fighting at 154.
Yes, he can.
So,
but
these
Porter's
crowds
small.
Are dudes
Yeah,
are
he's
dropping
like, what,
down,
5'7",
and those guys that
5'8"?
were coming up in welterweight. So this new crop are
Well, this new crop's more of natural welterweights. Like the guys at the top of the welterweight division are all natural welterweights. Like they didn't start at 130. We have no greats that moved up yet, except for maybe a Crawford. Crawford's the one guy that's moving up that may
just
be a
don't
great
see
because Danny's not that guy, obviously.
What give us the overwhelming evidence that Manny Pacquiao is still not a top 5
Jeff Horn.
welterweight?
Jeff Horn.
Jeff Horn.
Jeff Horn.
So now when
'Cause Jeff Horn's not a top 5
Jeff
welterweight.
Horn and Terrence Crawford fight, and Jeff Horn fares well in that fight, we're gonna look at Manny Pacquiao differently.
So if he does well against Crawford, right?
Yes,
Are we gonna look at the Manny Pacquiao fight differently? Of
Yeah.
course.
because we have
Of course.
no prior to the Manny Pacquiao Jeff Horn, we really have no sample.
Yes,
of Jeff
agreed.
Horn.
Agreed.
So
You
we
agreed.
assume he's a bum who did well, which is
Yes.
unfair. But we're gonna have another assessment of just
Even
Horn
Saddam
to
Ali was
gauge
more
him from.
tested. Even Saddam Ali was more tested. Like there was reasoning to have Saddam Ali beating Miguel Cotto. There was no one picking Jeff Horn to pick Pacquiao. And even if you think Pacquiao won that fight, which I'll give you because it was a close fight, if Pacquiao's a top 5 welterweight, he doesn't have that fight against Jeff Horn. He doesn't. I'm sorry. Keith Thurman doesn't have
We'll
that fight
see.
against Jeff Horn.
We'll see.
Earl Spence doesn't have that
We
fight
no
with Jeff Horn.
gauge to Jeff Horn's talent. So we'll have another.
We have
assessment
some
of-
gauges. We have like a Randall Bailey. Randall Bailey fought some guys at least, right?
Yeah.
And Randall Bailey put him down at least. It was a knockdown
Yes,
that fight.
That is Randall Bailey.
That's Randall.
That is Randall
That
Bailey.
is
That is Randall Bailey. That's
He
Randall
can
fucking Bailey.
Randall Bailey.
Goes
Yeah.
down,
Yeah, he
man.
can still punch right now.
Mikhail King.
Yo, so wait, I have no idea what topic we're on. I know we're on
Your
Patreon
question
topics.
before we close it out was if Triple G loses to Canelo.
Oh, is he done?
is
Yeah.
he done?
Is-
My question.
his time in the sun, in my opinion, is
My
done.
question is, Does Canelo have that? If you lose to Mayweather, you're not done. You're just
No, of course,
Yeah.
of course. But I'm talking about like athletically, not necessarily in terms of getting the fights. Like Triple G, if he loses to Canelo, everyone's sensing he's food, right? Like everyone in the middleweight division senses the food. It'll be a pack of hyenas coming on a dead corpse. That's what it will look like. So I'm not concerned about him getting fights at the top. I'm concerned about him winning fights at the top.
I don't ever see Canelo beating up Triple G.
I can see him beating him, but not beating up him. Yes.
That meme that went on after the first fight where Canelo caught him with that crazy ass right hand, which I knew he would do. You know what? It picked Canelo in the first fight.
You might have.
Matter of fact, I did pick him because this exact sentiment. Because I said, you know what, Canelo he can land a hellacious right hand. He landed on Amir Khan. He landed on James Kirkland. And I said, Canelo's going to land that same shot on Triple G, and he won't walk through it. Guess what? Triple G fucking walked through that thing. But Canelo did landed it like I predicted. Triple G did turn with it a little bit at the end, but he landed that all out, just, I got everything on this one right hand that should hurt anyone.
You know what? Yeah, fucking weak. Missed my fucking train of thought.
Yo, pass that shit. Pass that shit.
On
What are you doing
second
here?
thought, and I'll go with that same thought sentiment in the second fight. I believe Canelo will land that big old crazy right hand again. Will it hurt him this time?
Okay,
Maybe.
I got it. We
Wear and
said
tear.
that the reason
We have no idea where his
why,
chin's at.
I'm not the big Triple G fan, boy, but
Really? The guy that picked Jacobs? No shit.
Yeah.
No fucking
but check
shit.
it out. Even though some people thought that Jacobs won or Canelo won, we have never seen nobody beat up Triple G
No, you're not going to beat him up. You're not going to beat him up.
to where he had the damn near like, should we throw in the towel or
No.
or
You're
busted
not
up,
ever going
or
to
his
do that.
eye, both of his eyes.
But we
swollen.
cannot deny that he has eaten a ton of shots throughout his career, let alone 2017. Jacobs and Canelo touched him up. Regardless of him being beat up, he got touched up. He did. He got
He would
touched.
allow himself.
You can,
Oh, the allow himself. Yeah.
You may be able to land your
Allow
Sunday
himself to
punch.
get
on.
touched up.
Yeah.
You may be able to land your Sunday
Bullshit.
punch.
Huh?
You know, his reaction is slightly slower. That's diminished.
It
some.
is. It is.
And
You can tell.
you may be able to land your Sunday punch. Canelo did. It's just he
He landed-
fucking took it like a night walker or some shit. You know what I mean? And just took that thing.
Let's admit right now. I think we can all admit this. We can all agree on this. Canelo and Triple G, best chins in boxing right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have to.
Yeah. Never seen Canelo hurt.
The only one really
Yeah,
is Mayweather, and I think that was more
visibly hurt.
discouraged at this
Huh?
point. The only one that's close is Mayweather to
Oh my
hurting
God,
Canelo.
that
But that was weird. I think that was more of like a discouraged, like cardio issue, more than a like, oh, I'm dazed thing. But there was a moment in the Mayweather fight where Canelo got weird. He got a little stinky,
I think
you know.
Maidana rocked him also in this.
Maidana never fought Canelo.
No.
Mayweather.
I'm not talking about Mayweather's
No,
chin.
I'm talking about Canelo's
Canelo's chin. You're talking about Canelo's chin.
Gotcha.
Yeah, never seen him vulnerable like that.
Next topic, Joe. Next Patreon topic before we go to
Yes,
ours.
sir.
Open that shit up. Passcode.
Hey,
We got my man Ryan, aka the Dempsey. What's up,
Dempsey, what up?
Dempsey?
He came to the TBV live podcast in Vegas
Tight.
with his wife. So what up, Dempsey? Always shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you, Dempsey.
Hopefully see you at the rematch.
Okay, he says we got Spence versus Peterson next weekend.
Mhm.
You guys can talk about that. Also, you can talk about the matchups, fights that you would like to see, whether they're big fights or not. Or you could also talk about how we all got into boxing.
Which
What
one do you want?
planet to see?
Which one do you want to tackle first? The Spence Peterson card, fights we want to see in 2018, or what got us into boxing?
Well, no.
Spence Peterson. All right,
Yeah.
Spence Peterson. Joe, take it away. Spence Peterson. Break it down. That's a fight I think we're all excited for.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
And
about
we're all
this
going to be
fight.
together to watch it. Right?
And
Oh
I'm
well,
glad to
th-
see.
there's some. Originally, Ness was going to be in town for that day. We're gonna do a live podcast. Everyone going to be together for that for Spence Peterson. But obviously, Ness with the invite with Ring Magazine,
Right.
with the new media spread, and he's going to get interviewed. That might change. We have not had an official word on that. So I don't know if I'll be with you guys. Yeah, you definitely need to take that shit, Ness. You gotta do that
for sure.
Big up TVB. Spence Peterson. You know what? I like this fight. A lot of people shitted on this fight, but I think it's good. We're gonna see Spence go against a different look. A guy that can box, that can bang. So hopefully we'll see some new nuances that Spence has, because he's gonna have to. I think as a boxer, Peterson might be a slight better than Kell Brook as a boxer, purist boxer.
I don't know about that.
I think that he has more tools in the tool.
Goes to the body better.
He has that I agree. No.
He can fight.
Agreed. I agree with that. He has more tools.
He can give some fucking Lomachenko angles. We have seen him do some shit like that before. So, but what scares me for Peterson is the size of Spence. Man, Spence is a big welterweight.
He does go up to 170 in between fights.
Yes, and he's strong. And so
well, that's true. But Crawford was a gigantic lightweight and a gigantic junior welterweight. We all knew he was destined for welterweight. He was a welterweight's body from a long time ago. That was a guy that could naturally cut a lot of weight, probably. I think Terrence Crawford did wrestling in high school, which definitely helps with weight cutting. Santiago.
Yeah, I like the fight too. I think that Peterson is going to be a good first title defense for Spence. I think we'll get to see a lot of the little more nuances to Spence's game, because as you told us at one point too, a lot of what Spence does is pretty simple, pretty monotone.
Basic. It's basic. You can say it's basic. He's just excellent at it.
Yeah, he has it refined down to a T.
Agreed.
And it'll be interesting to see what Lamont can bring to him to give us what we think will be another good test for Spence.
Fernando.
I'm looking to see Lamont's rough style against.
I'm excited for that.
I
want to see these guys in the phone booth.
Yeah, I love how Lamont goes to the body. I really like how it goes. So I'm just looking for them to bang it out, but Earl to take him out probably in the 8th.
I can see that. JP.
Very interesting, this fight, because these are two fighters that are very familiar with one another. So that kind of worries me, to be honest with you, because
in what way it worries?
It worries me in the way because you could imagine that one fighter may have already conceded defeat to another because he's been in the ring with them many times.
Agree.
And so if you
or on the flip side, it could be a bad fight. Like sometimes when you have guys that have been in there too much, like they're hesitant to go at each other. Actually, almost like when friends fight, like there's a hesitance to fight. You could get that aspect here, where it's actually a more boring fight than some people might predict. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but that's a possibility.
And from the optics, I'll be honest with you, when I kind of look and my weird way of shit down, when I look at it, it looks like Lamont's kind of here for the check. He knows Errol is going to beat him. And how I'm going to gauge if my assessment is true afterward, I'm going to see how Lamont bows out of this. How gracefully and doesn't get just obliterated or take some beating. He just kind of calls it in the corner. He knew that, and he came for the check, and he conceded defeat before it all started.
What makes you think he's just coming for the check?
Because he already knows he can't beat him. They fought too much. They're too familiar with.
We don't know what happened in those sparring. We never heard Spence say that.
We'll see. And so when I said
we didn't heard the war stories about Mayweather. We done heard stories about Broner.
Yeah, but we
never heard.
We heard that because Ness hounded fucking some trainers about that, and the trainers, I think it was Barry Hunter. Not to snitch, was the one that told Ness about all that shit, and I think Barry Hunter got like a talking to. So I think a lot of those guys have quieted up about sparring since those leaks, so to speak.
So look, but Joe, when I say in my weird way of analyzing and breaking it down, so when I'm seeing press conferences between the two, it looks like, in my weird way of looking at it, it looks like Errol's basically looking through him. He's like, man down. It's basically
Yeah, I
in
can
my
see that.
assessment, it's like
Yeah, I see that.
I'm on to the next one. Lamont is completely like quiet. Like I really don't want no smoke with him at all. Really, ain't no vigor coming from Lamont. There's no.
When have we ever seen Lamont do that though? With anybody?
maybe that could be 100% true. But
He ain't that guy.
But like I
He's so
said, in my
easy.
weird way of looking at it, and how I'll tell if I was right, is if Lamont gracefully bows out at this thing before it gets too rough.
That's a good question. Have we ever seen Lamont Peterson talk shit to somebody?
No,
I don't think so.
I mean,
That I know of.
I
Or
can't.
look angry or something?
I'll be completely honest. I can't like tell you what his voice sounds like.
Might be
Like
right.
Lamont Peterson's. Like I don't have it off the top of my head. Like even Crawford's, I know his voice. Like, hey, what's up, guys? You know,
Yeah.
like I'm right here. You know, like
He's
Lamont's
a
like
solitude kind of guy.
Lamont's
He come
always
off like
been the
that.
guy that's just in the background in a way. Like great boxer, great fundamentals, but always has been in the background. Has lost on the big stage at numerous occasions. Always been, I think, the underachiever in a way. Because I think we all know that he is talented. We all know that he has skill. Like you said, like he has tools. But how many times has he fought fights that are disadvantageous to his tool set?
Sometimes I used to look at his fights and be like, damn, how come you didn't do? Sometimes I think he used the wrong tool for the wrong fight.
His boxing IQ isn't there, unfortunately. Like his ability to understand, this is the game plan I need. This is how I need to adapt. These are the tactics I need to use. That has always been lacking for him. And I think on his coaching standpoint, or maybe there's been just an inability to explain to him, whatever it is, there's been something there that he's never been able to achieve.
But we got to acknowledge, guys, that there is plenty occasions where a dude has conceded. Enters the ring.
Oh, of course.
Mentionedly recently, Regendow conceded defeat before he came in that ring.
I don't
and
think
he bowed
so,
right
JP.
out of there before
I
it
don't
got
think
too
so,
rough.
man.
He bowed out of there soon as it got slightly rough. He was gone. I'm done.
I don't think he went in there talked the most shit to Lomachenko too.
Oh, that's just promotion.
But
That was his.
I
That was
thought-
no. That wasn't him.
We all thought that this dude is a master, man. He would never. What we seen that day,
I never did.
I could have never.
That was
fathomed
crazy.
in the-
That was one of the craziest things
it
I've ever
could
seen in
ever
the sport of
happen.
boxing.
I remember. I was
He's
the
like a
dude.
cult figure before this
Yo,
happened.
so Fern, you're gonna light it right in front of the mic, so the mic's gonna pick it up. You do realize that, right? He's like, no, man, like, nah, it's cool.
That's a little lame.
It's cool, fam. Don't worry about it.
Santiago, get something?
That's not how you light a joint either.
But man, I was the dude who was saying, "Y'all sure y'all want Regendow to
Oh
be
my
Lomo's
God.
validation fight?" I was
Yeah.
that guy saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, "This
I
little
was
ass
like,
fucking
no
old dude,"
excuses.
and he's aging in Cuban years. And what does that mean? That means fucking like he could be 43 for all we know.
Yeah, we've all seen the bench warmers. They lie. They lie on their birth certificate.
Exactly. So
They understood it. The youngins understood it. Thank you. All you young millennials out there totally understand that reference. Yeah, that Rigo fight was really disappointing
What's the next
on a
topic?
level.
that's why who bowed out
Very
of
quick,
there.
did everyone have their piece on Spence Peterson?
Yes.
Take on it before Thursday. Obviously, I'll break it down more. I think Spence is the deserved favorite. I think Spence's ability to judge distance is an underrated ability he has. Everyone out there in this next week, go watch tape of his fight and look at his ability just to take that half step back, the half step forward, the half step side to side, and escape out of range, escape a punch, land his shots. He's a master at it, and I think that's been underrated at some point. The next topic was what fight we want to see in 2018.
Yeah.
JP, you were last on Spence Peterson, so you take it away. One fight, if you could make, if you were the Al Heyman figure of boxing, what fight would you make?
2018. Wow. Damn. Really good.
What's at the top of your list?
Man, I mean, the first thing that just comes to mind, and I think it may be something better out there, but just that Wilder Joshua.
Yeah,
That's the kind of
I was
fight
thinking that.
comes to
First thing I
mind.
was thinking.
Can you imagine the hype around that fight?
You know, my
It's
personal
insane to
weirdo
imagine.
choice is hardcore choice.
I like
I'd
that.
love to see Charlo Golovkin. You know, Jamal Golovkin. Just I know it ain't worth nothing right now, but I like to
No,
see it.
it'd always be worth something. That's a good
It's
fight.
too
Yeah.
hardcore
It's a
right
good
now.
fight.
It's too hardcore. You can't pay per view it. I don't think.
You could. Maybe.
But you know what? I'll go for Jacobs, Charlo.
I'll take that, of course.
That would be some good
But,
shit right
what
there.
Who else you guys got out there? Anything?
Fern, Santiago.
say-
Anyone can take this one.
I would say like not. I don't know. It's like
That wasn't my fight though.
Crawford,
My
Danny
first pick.
Garcia.
Crawford, Danny. That fight has been brewing for years, man.
Good one, Fern.
And let's be honest, Crawford would style on
Also-
Danny, but it would be great to watch.
Also, Victor Ortiz versus Brandon Rios, just because of the animosity.
Oh wow!
Interesting.
And
Because
I get to
that
go to
was
that
rumored at
fight.
one point. Wasn't
Both
that rumored?
have a fight coming up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, both of them have a fight.
coming
Yes,
up.
they do. Fights I don't give a fuck about.
Hey, come on. Who is that?
I do like the Devin Alexander fight. I'll admit that.
Exactly.
That's a good fight because they're equal. They're competitive at this point.
That's-
Brandon's not going to win his fight.
No.
Brandon's going to be a punching bag for Danny, unfortunately.
But Ortiz, Devin Alexander should.
That'd be a good
fun.
fight, man.
I think Devin's
Wow.
taking that, right? I think Devin can outbox
Oh,
him.
you know what?
I don't
They
trust
both
Victor Ortiz at
southpaw
this
though,
point.
huh?
Yes, they are.
I have to give it to Devin, but it's gonna be. It should be fun while it lasts.
Hey man, when the last time you seen two southpaws?
Victor Ortiz got 4 rounds, and if you can't, goodbye.
Yeah, after that fourth round, man, it's bye, bye, Victor.
So long.
Mental meltdown.
I'm surprised you haven't seen him cry in the ring. Just being honest.
Yeah,
Santiago?
the Oliver
Oh, shit.
McCall moment has yet to come.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, Wilder Joshua. For the women, I would definitely like to see if it can't happen this year.
You're too high, man.
Clarissa Shields versus the Lady Hammer.
Yes, that's gonna be a great fight. 2019.
That's going to be a great fight and a great boom for women's boxing, in my opinion, and I think they should make it. And I feel bad because I actually like Ortiz, and I'm looking forward to the Devin Alexander fight. I think it's a fight that either guy could get, but I feel that
I like how that became a topic.
I actually feel that Devin Alexander is just going to be more consistent, whereas
I know what we're talking
Shout out to Berto, man.
What's your fight of 2018, Santiago?
Pick one. Yeah, everyone has to pick one.
My fight of 2018 is Shields versus Hammer.
Wow.
Really?
That would be a great fight. No, I'm down with that.
Very
Catch weight, though, right?
2018 type of guy.
No, that one's going to be at 160.
Hey,
Yo,
man.
and the fact that Shields has not displayed one punch knockout power does concern me. Just being honest, she gets a little bit too wild in there. Obviously, she had a fight yesterday. I fell asleep doing it. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, no, and
gotcha.
the thing too is that she is still pretty young in her career. She's only had 5 fights.
Agreed.
22.
Hammer's had like at least 22 fights. She's been there before. Obviously, depending how long it takes to make that fight, Clarissa may or may not be ready by then.
Joe, Mr. Joe.
My fight, man, nothing more exciting than seeing two heavyweights. AJ Wilder, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
AJ
man.
Wilder. That will be a great fight.
Two giants. Fuck the little guys, man. You see two giants? Oh man, shit. Everything sounds harder when they hit the ground. It's louder when they
How
punch.
long
it's
can
louder.
Eddie hold us off? How long can Eddie hold us off?
He can hold us off this year. He could.
this whole fucking year, huh?
He could.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think he can do 2019 as well. I think that's impossible.
Well, we'll be
It's gotta happen.
satisfied.
It's
with
gonna
Wilder.
happen
We'll be
within-
satisfied with Wilder here shortly. Him and Ortiz will come up, and we'll give Wilder. Okay, Wilder, you've done enough. What you gonna do for us though, Joshua, this year? You gonna fight another Takum? We don't want to see. We want to see you do something real now. You didn't.
Hey, but Joseph Parker's a good fight. I know we've been shitting on it, but
I'll
that's a
take
good
it.
fight.
I'll
I would
take
have loved that for Wilder. So I have to love it for Joshua. If I
I'll
would have
take
loved
it.
it for Wilder, I have to love it for
So it's
Joshua.
gonna be a good fight, and then you guys already know that the Ortiz fight was
Mhm.
announced, so he's got that in the back burner. So it's kind of like if they get past their fights, 2019 Wilder versus AJ.
2 picks for me. And I know I only said 1, but I'm going to say 2. Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter Jr. And the number 2 one,
Hardcore
Badu
fight.
Jack versus Marcus Brown. After Badu,
One, I could have gave two.
shut up, Joe. It's my show. It's my show. Badu Jack is beating Adonis Stevenson's ass hands down.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Next topic was how we got into the sport of boxing. I'll say mine first, and then we go this way. My first fight I ever remember live was Mayweather Gotti. Was that pay-per-view? I was at someone's house. I was like fucking maybe 10 years old, 9 years old at that time. Somebody bought it. They were watching it in the background. I started watching it. Definitely became a Mayweather fan at that point. And it took me a while to become a hardcore fan of the sport. To be honest, it probably took me about 5 years to really start getting into that mode. Another 2 years to really get to the hipster status. But yeah, Gotti Mayweather was insane. Love that shit.
To be honest with you, as a kid coming up, it was actually Bruce fucking Lee, man. Shout out to Bruce Lee. I was
Does that count?
No, I'm just saying that's what led me to.
I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was like 5 years old.
Bruce Lee is
I watched
something
Teenage
else,
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
when I seen Enter the Dragon, man, with nobody better than that. Wasn't nothing better than Bruce Lee. But that led me into combat sport and boxing. You know, my
There's a lot of people like that.
watching the Sugar Ray fights, and I would be in there looking at it, but not really knowing what's going on.
So what's the first fight that captured your attention?
When I seen Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler.
Oh wow! So we talking what?
82?
7.
No, that was 82. I think that one was late. Remember?
Oh.
You know how old I am. Shit.
No, I'm surprised.
But I was young, though. But but hearing the excitement around in my house, and like, man, this is it. You know, it's boxing. Okay. Then from there, seeing Pernell Whitaker, seeing back then it was ESPN Sports, and it was a different channel back then. I can't remember the name. They would show.
Like you get ABC, boxing. Like Worldwide Sports, of course. Yeah,
Worldwide Sports.
Yeah, like Duran's fights run all the time. Like, my
yeah.
parents used to tell me about that. My grandparents used to tell me about that. Like, obviously, I think, like, we used to all watch like Ali tape. Like, Ali was big. I think, and like every boxing fans like come up. It's like you watch tapes of Ali talking some shit. You watch tape of Ali dodging some punches and then doing the shuffle. Like, I think every boxing fan, that was probably one of your first fights was an Ali fight. For everyone.
But what made me a hardcore, it was Iron Mike Tyson, man.
Yo, that era was insane from what I hear.
That was the first real fight parties where it would be like a real party.
And that was a start pay-per-view.
Mike Tyson fight, man. The shit that would last not even 2 or 3 rounds, it'll be an event. You know what I'm saying? And it was nothing. And Mike, that would make me, from then on, made me a hardcore.
Shout out to Mike Tyson.
Shout out to Iron Mike. And he's
going
to his farm. Yeah. Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Mike captivated everyone.
Everyone.
Now
he was the definition of a superstar.
I wasn't quite. Yeah, he was a phenomenon.
He was him.
He was a phenomenon. And you know, people from that era, they still reference back to Mike Tyson, man, that fucking Mike Tyson. And it could be very few guys cover all cultures and everybody where they're just everybody like that motherfucker right there. And Mike Tyson was that guy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever missed.
Who else was that in boxing? Quick topic. Who else was that in boxing? That like everyone from every culture could probably be like, that motherfucker was good.
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray, possibly.
Ali, especially post his time. No, post his time. Retroactively, like
post.
Yeah. Like nowadays, we look at Ali different than let's say the '60s. Obviously, you know what I mean. Very obviously,
Favor was very polar in his fight.
Even Tyson, you could say, had some polarizing moments where not having positive outlook on him or a positive perception of him.
But if we're talking,
everyone loves Tyson now.
Pre-Robin Givens and all that shit.
Okay, agreed. But post Robin Givens, like there was a change for a period of time.
We start talking prison and all that shit. But pre-Customato still alive?
Yeah.
It would have been a completely story if Cus had lived to see Tyson through to his career.
Obviously, Mayweather isn't that because Mayweather is hated. But in terms of, let's say, like awareness, do you think you could go in the same amount of places around the world and say Ali's name and say Mayweather's name and they know those two people?
They know those two people.
Like, you think Mayweather's that well known?
Not nearly as
like
much as
I think he's I think he's more well known here. I think he's a U.S. megastar.
Agreed.
I don't know if you go to Asia, it's the same thing, or Africa, it's the same thing.
No,
I don't know that.
It's a generational thing too with Ali. It's like people's.
It's the things that he did outside of boxing.
Of course, that as well.
It just has the things that Mayweather.
He was an activist.
Exactly.
He preceded generations.
Exactly.
Only certain songs, certain people that. To where this man, look how old he was. You know, I wasn't here to witness a lot of them fucking fights. You know what I'm saying?
And I know we're not comparing the two, But
Yes.
you know, and
Just
that-
awareness,
it
people
shouldn't
knowing
be in
them.
the same breath as far as impact or
Of course.
society or anything like that. But in the boxing verse, even then, you know, no, not even close. We're talking a heavyweight. We're talking a guy. You know, we
In the
all
golden age of the sport.
one thing about Mayweather that goes unsaid, the guy never touched the canvas. And so we kind of don't like him for that. But that's fucking amazing.
It's amazing. Man.
Okay. But we love Ali because he did touch that canvas a lot.
He took
And
some
he
L's.
lost.
And he took some L's.
Man.
Yes, and he lost a lot. Not a lot, but he lost
Yeah.
a lot more than
Lot,
Floyd is
500% more than
Who loves
Mayweather.
perfect, huh? We as humans, we don't love perfect. Floyd Mayweather is as perfect as you can get being a boxer.
And a lot of people, I think that he's put a lot of pressure on these younger fighters now.
Absolutely.
To protect that.
Absolutely.
They can't.
When, you know what?
And the
all of them gonna lose.
And let me just say,
listen to this. I'm talking about Spence, Thurman.
Yeah, they're all tasting L's.
Anybody that you think
they're all
is
beatable
out right now, Wilder, Joshua, they all gonna lose in their career.
And even worse than
it'll
that,
never be a fucking another Mayweather.
To add to that, and even worse, that because even if one of them gets dropped, it almost changes their career. Because Mayweather's fucking image is like, you're not supposed to get touched. And it's fucking them up. It's fucking them up because they can't live up to that.
They can't live up.
They can't live up to it.
That's why I don't agree with Danny sometimes in his picks and his fights and all this, but it's at the same time, I get it. He be like, fuck y'all fans. I'm gonna get this money. And because I know y'all gonna because we all shit on them all anyway.
We all understand that mindset. Because let's be honest, if boxing fans were like regular sports fans, like basketball fans, right? Imagine we all had jerseys of the fighters we supported. Every arena that has a boxing event would have like jerseys on the ground because people would be taking off their jerseys, putting on new ones mid-fight. You know, like that's always the way it's been. You don't like obviously you have like some ethnic like riding with. So you have Mexicans ride with Mexicans, black people ride with black people, like white people like ride with white people, like sometimes, maybe generally speaking. But overall, like most boxing fans are fickle as fuck.
They are.
We are. And even if you're great, doesn't mean we think you're gonna be great.
Look at Mayweather. He take more shots. Shit.
I think we all,
and that's the guy that didn't lose. So imagine what we do to a guy that take a loss, 2 losses. We trash him, put on another, like you say, put another man's jersey on real fast and figure
it's very hard to reinvent yourself in the Mayweather era after a loss and be successful. Very few people have done it.
Yeah,
the greats have. Klitschko has done it. There's been guys that have done it, obviously, but it is hard, and you have to put on some great performances and beat some great guys afterwards.
Yeah,
that's why like we don't give Broner that credit yet. That's why like when people say, "Oh, like don't harp on the O so much," right? Like then you get a guy like Broner, but like Broner has lost fights and has always seemed disinterested. Like I'm not gonna support that. Right. I'll support a guy like Sean Porter. Sean Porter has tasted the L, but he seems like he's on the path to greatness still.
Right.
Like I can still see Sean Porter being a Hall of Famer before Adrian Broner.
Yeah,
even though people know Broner way more than Sean Porter.
That's not even up for question.
I think that was the last topic. That the Patreon.
Yeah, but we didn't get the 3 of us for that one.
Oh my! I'm so sorry. We were, high. We were all high.
About to jab you, son.
Yo, Santiago's sober, man. He hates us when we're high like this.
I love you guys. Anyways, if anybody who was at the TVV party
light up something
in New York saw the shirt that I was wearing that night, my introduction to boxing was actually through Japanese anime, and a lot of it, as any cartoon will show you, it's like a little exaggerated here and there, but it was boxing based. I was able to relate with the main character a lot, and from there,
how old were you?
I was about 14 when I first saw the anime, and then it'd be a year before I would see my first professional boxing match, which was the De La Hoya Pacquiao pay-per-view card. And from there, it just took off. I developed a passion for the sport. I began studying the little nuances of it, styles.
Right here, y'all. TVB.
Yes, I've become known as the human box rec by you guys. And obviously, as you guys already know, that a lot of the things that I do and have done, a lot of it has to do from the anime and from what I've taught myself.
Wow, that's interesting.
Fern, obviously.
90s. The 90s.
Just the 90s
The
period.
90s. Well, yeah.
So you had Tyson, Roy Jones, like all that era.
Well, really, what it was, being Latin, we would, get together and watch.
Oh, so like you had De La Hoya, Chavez.
The Maromero Pais. I remember all his antics. So those were the fights, and then the Roy Joneses. I remember, just running around in the background watching the undercards.
Very quickly, for everyone that doesn't understand, because Fern does look very young. Fern's actually like 30.
29.
No, you're 30, bro. Okay, when you're
all right,
when you're 29, you're just 30. In my opinion.
February, I'm turning 30.
Okay, so you're fucking 30 for sure.
Oh,
Okay,
30.
so Fern's actually older than maybe some people might think. So when he says the 90s,
I was there.
he was actually
I
there.
was there.
Yeah.
Me and Matt are the youngest on this.
Yeah, we're like 22, 24 over here.
Yeah.
What up, Nux?
But yeah, I mean, just like fight parties we had with our families, and then you would hear the Tysons. We would get together for all of those. I mean, the promotion for those fights was so well done. We would get together and just watch those fights. So I mean, the main event is where my mom or my dad, acércate, nos vamos a ver la pelea.
Can you translate? Can you translate?
Like, come on, get close. We're about to watch the fight.
Because we have an English audience here,
Yes,
by the way.
The fight, the one you need to see. And of course, it was the De La Hoyas, the Eric Moraleses. But more recently, when growing up and being a teenager and young adult, it was more the first Marquez Pacquiao fight.
Great fight, amazing.
Great fight.
That, and since then, I've just been following. And then the Boxing Voice, you guys did a show. I saw it on YouTube, and it was the Marquez Pacquiao knockout. So you guys had a show, and that's how I started getting more into it. And then TVB Party number 2, Vegas.
Two was New York, man. You do know that.
No, that was number 2. Vegas was number 2. Number 1 was in New York. Number 2.
Yeah, you weren't in number 1 though, right?
No.
Okay.
I was in number 2, and then I went to the
number 3. Shout out to New York. That shit was lit.
Shout out to the NY.
Castle Hill.
Yo, we got one more question from Bomani UFG.
Shout out to Bomani.
With Thurman having 2 Mandos, do you think after Crawford beats Horn, it makes the most sense for a Spence versus Crawford unification bout? That was one question. With Thurman needing a warm-up before Porter, who's coming off an injury, I can't see Danny fighting Spence or Crawford next. It seems they're the only 2 left and probably the best fight in the division.
Okay, so the first part, we'll tackle the first part. Crawford, Spence. Do you think that's likely if obviously Spence wins his fight, Crawford wins his fight in April? Keith is going to be tied up, probably from what we think. See, with Sean and Danny,
right,
and his tune-up fight, which will probably be in either April or May, from what I'm hearing. Do you think that makes sense? Do you think that happens? I don't know
2,
what the right
3
question
fights, yeah, but not next or anywhere in this.
But here's the thing: after Jeff Horn, there's no one in the welterweight stable under Top Rank anymore. Jesse's gone. Like, who else is there at the top of the welterweight division that you can throw in there at Top Rank?
They'll run somebody there. It's too soon. Too soon. Way too soon.
What if he ices not Crawford? What if Crawford ices Horn like he did in Dongo? Things. If he has that type of performance, and
I would imagine as much, the perception changes to based wholly on his performance, how he wins, dominating boxing clinic or just completely
shut out. Yeah. I think it's likely in a sense because both guys seem like they want that fight or like they want a big fight. Definitely that. Both guys seem like they want a big fight. To me, Crawford in his mind does not think Jeff Horn's a big fight. That's become apparent, especially with them not going to Australia. Because you have restricted the way Jeff Horn can make you money. But obviously, you do not think Jeff Horn's your money fight. Spence is an internet darling. He does numbers on everyone's outlet and everyone's channel, everyone's website. He is a king of numbers right now, in a sense. Plus, he's the only guy that I know of on PBC to do over 6 million viewers on basic cable. Spence could be that guy, even though he is definitely not the the charismatic, natural star that maybe Keith Thurman is. Because like we all know Keith Thurman's better on the mic.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman can naturally talk some shit.
Yeah.
But who's out there more? Who's seen more? Who's on social media more? It's Spence and even Crawford. Crawford's off on the mic, but he's on Twitter way more than fucking Thurman is.
Yeah.
You guys aren't on Twitter, but I know JP is. You can attest to that. Crawford's always tweeting. I never see Thurman tweet ever. But who's a naturally better star?
I think
Thurman.
somebody got in his ear too to start promoting yourself.
100%. Somebody told him to start being on social media.
Broner only got that, man, because he self-promoted, man. He took the mic and he ran with it as you should. We all your 5 minutes of fame and really, you know, promote yourself.
We spoke about earlier how Mike Tyson seemed to cover all the demographics and his likability. And that was due to what? It's due to style. It's similarly with Triple G. Style. Everyone, no one has much bad to say about Golovkin at this point. Now, some people still say, but that's what we're seeing with Errol Spence. That style that I'm coming to just destroy.
Agreed. Great point.
That style,
Good point.
everyone respects it.
Everyone can understand somebody going out there trying to get a knockout.
Yeah.
Everyone from every part of life and every culture understands that on a fundamental level.
Yeah.
It's a universal
It's
language.
savage.
It is.
It's
It is.
savage. His style is savage. And so that's respected in everywhere you go. So that's what we're seeing with Errol Spence.
Plus, like Tyson, Spence has that physique. Pause. But he definitely has that physique that like people go, wow, like he's an athlete. People thought Mike Tyson was an athlete.
Now Crawford, he can maybe get too slick for some
Purely off of style, yeah.
Purely off of he becomes too elusive. He's jabbing and 1-2 in the right hand in his way to
like the postal fight. Postal fight for a perfect example.
He can get too slick for some people.
I'm putting the early prediction in now. I got Crawford
Over everyone? Over the field?
over Spence.
What about Thurman? Ooh, that's where it gets kind of tricky, huh?
So then we're
That's
saying
a 50-50
Thurman
fight.
over Spence.
Only because
I think most people are.
I
could be wrong.
They're all 50-50 fights. Don't get me wrong, but
I should say most people. I think most people that really follow the sport and are unbiased are picking Thurman over Spence, and then maybe are picking Crawford over Thurman.
I gotta like.
But then again, I think Spence has an easier shot against Crawford than Thurman.
I think Crawford. We'll say that again.
I think Spence, purely off of the style matchup and the size of all the gentlemen involved, has an easier fight with Crawford than he does Thurman.
No.
We'll see when he fights
Like I
Warren,
said
just
on
based
the
on the
show, I
size.
called in before. You just
Thurman has some muscle and he has more pop, in my opinion, than a Crawford. And Crawford's a little bit too skinny, man. Like Crawford can get bullied, in my opinion.
Here's the thing to me.
Crawford got more tools.
I think that Sean Porter can beat Crawford.
Than all three.
I don't think
than both of them.
Here's the question, and here's why I give Keith the slight edge, because
Over who?
I think Keith has the ability to actually hurt Spence, whereas Crawford doesn't. And I don't see none of them making it 12 with Spence. So you gotta hurt him. Not saying you gotta knock him out, but you gotta make him gunshot.
You gotta make him respect you at least.
Make him gunshot.
Yeah, I agree with you saying.
And that's
like
what we see
Brooke didn't do that.
Exactly.
Brooke didn't ever hurt.
To me,
Exactly.
I see Spence as. I think Thurman and Crawford are better, have more tools in their bag.
I think we all know
than
that.
Spence is just a straightforward guy.
I think we all can see that.
And give it good as he take it. These dudes is going to try to give him angles and all of that. That's why I'm saying this.
But you're not going to be able to run all night from him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because Cal Brooke couldn't do that.
No, you're not going to be able to do it.
He will eventually adapt to you. He'll eventually find you and
I've never
eventually
seen
hit you.
Crawford get tired.
Have we seen
In a
Spence
fight.
get tired?
I don't know.
No.
Exactly. And let's be honest, Spence has fought a better opponent than Crawford. I'm a huge Crawford fan. We all know that.
Right.
But let's be real about it here. Crawford is the unproven one of the bunch so far.
Exactly.
Fought smaller
Sure,
men too.
yeah.
I think he's going to struggle with Horn.
And you know, Ness is gonna love this, but he's right about shitting on Crawford's resume at 140.
Yeah.
Like Ndongo beating Burns and Trinovsky doesn't mean that much. Beating fucking Thomas Delorme and Derry Jean
Lundy.
and Hank Lundy
Him
doesn't
up from 135.
mean anything.
Right,
it really doesn't. It doesn't mean anything
right.
compared to a Danny and Porter win. It doesn't mean anything compared to a Kell Brook win. It just does not mean
Bundu.
anything compared to that.
I've
Bundu.
predicted Horn's gonna give him.
Shout out to Bundu.
Horn's gonna give him a dog fight, and like I said on the regular TV,
I don't know. I think he can be outboxed.
dude. This is the classic, and I always reverted back to this. This is my analogy for this type of fight. It's when you see the blue chip fighter come on up or go against that dog, a la Mayweather, Castillo, a la Broner Maidana, a la freaking this goes on
Joe
and
Smith
on.
Jr.'s entire career.
You know, you have a blue chip fighter and he's come a la Lomachenko Salido. You have this blue chip fighter coming in against the old dog.
Mhm.
And that's what we got right here. And he's coming up in weight. We don't know how his physicality is gonna adjust to this.
That's true.
We know Jeff Horn's a big ass dog at 140. I think.
He should be fighting at 154. He's that
So-
big of a guy.
Watch, man,
Yeah.
when and so we'll see when he's not, his shots don't quite hurt him, and Jeff Horn able to eat
Very quickly,
him, and
JP,
he's pressuring him.
I want to get your take on it or your opinion on it more clearly, because you said that you thought Pacquiao is still top welterweight potentially, and you thought he beat Jeff Horn. What do you think of Jeff Horn? Like, where is he at in this division? Is he a top 10 fighter? Is he a top?
Yes, he's a top 10 fighter.
Okay.
I believe any night he'll give any of them dudes a really tough fight.
Like the Thurmans, the Spences, all of them. Any given night, he could give him a tough fight. Not beat him, give him a tough fight. Okay.
Tough fight.
Okay.
Tough,
Give
tough
Danny
fight.
a run for his money.
Oh,
Garcia.
Oh, he gave
I
Manny
think
a
so, I
tough
think
fight.
so.
But Danny is the weakest link of them all. Let's be real. Shout out to Danny.
Entry level.
Nah, I don't.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Danny Garcia is 100% the weak link of the bunch.
Jeff Horn beats Robert Guerrero.
Of course he does.
I
Of
mean,
course he does.
So is Robert Guerrero top 10?
I see
No,
Robert-
God, no.
Robert Guerrero's
Not
finished.
top 10.
Figueroa
He's
finished.
retired. Isn't
Oh.
Figure, yeah, after
he's
the
retired.
Figueroa.
Oh, he beats Omar Figueroa.
Who do we have on the brink of top 10 at welterweight?
Okay, so
Yeah, Jesse Vargas, Lamar Peterson.
you got Thurman. Going to get that from 1 to 10,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Thurman, Spence, who's that?
Porter,
Danny,
Danny,
Lamont,
Lamont,
Jeff,
Yeah.
Jamal James. After
I
that,
don't know.
because he beat Diego Chavez.
Santiago, this is where we need you.
Yeah, human boxer. We got 7 names, and I don't think Jamal James belongs there personally. But then again, welterweight's 100% top heavy.
Yeah, it's top heavy, and not only that, but I think that trying to put it to 10 or even trying to put it to 7 is kind of a tall order, just because like A, the division is loaded, and B, a lot of these guys are really talented, really good. But in my personal opinion, aside from Danny being the weakest link, it's kind of like any of these fights that are made are gonna be, some of them are gonna be toss-ups. They really are, in my opinion.
I don't think Jeff Horn against any of those top 4 guys, except for Danny. I'll be honest. He gives Danny a tough fight. All right, top 3. Thurman, Spence, Porter. Jeff Horn does not give him a tough fight. Jeff Horn gets outboxed or beat up in those fights.
What do you think, Santiago?
The guru here.
Yeah,
Give us the divine intervention on this debate.
those top 3, I definitely cannot see Horn giving them that much of a tough fight. Like it
Won't look like the Pacquiao fight.
it won't look like the Pacquiao fight, but he will give a good account of himself. But it won't be that kind of fight where we're like, wow, look at what Jeff Horn's doing. He's
Horn versus Peterson.
I like that fight. That's a fun fight.
yeah, that
They're definitely on the inside. Like you said, that's a rough fight for both
Horn
men.
is a big welterweight.
Here's the thing. How do we know? He fought a small welterweight. He fought Pacquiao. That's not the big standard for if you're a big
Yeah,
welterweight or not.
not only that, but you have to also take into account Pacquiao's age, the wear and tear on his body. He's had over 60 fights in his career already,
Mhm.
so it's kind of like you can't. For me, at least, you can't really use the Pacquiao fight as a good
It's hard.
barometer
It's hard.
to
Yeah,
Gauge,
that's true. That's
uh,
true.
If it
Jeff
was
Horn's
clear for Jeff Horn, I think you could.
had it been clear.
Since it's very tight and it was that type of rough fight, it's very hard to tell if it was just Pacquiao being faded and shot. If it's Jeff Horn really good, a lot of question marks after
A lot of
that fight
asterisks.
on both men, in my opinion. I don't know how we got there. I don't know what topic we're on.
No.
Oh, that was Bomani,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that was Bomani. He had a couple questions. What were the other ones?
Hey, I didn't get to tell you guys how I got into boxing.
Oh my God,
So,
God, we are so high. I'm so sorry.
That's bad. We tripped it.
oh no. So I grew up in a predominantly Mexican neighborhood. So my best friends
Shout out to LA.
were Mexican kids. And so I'm about 5-6 years older than Fern, so that makes me 35. So in that time, we're talking, let's say early to mid 90s. I'm about 10, 11, 12. I can't tell you the exact year, but I'll tell you the first fight that caught my attention. Of course, in those days you have your regular cable. And in them days, it's a channel. I don't remember. It'll just run the damn preview of the fight. Non-fucking stop, day after day after day. Whatever channel I think the pay-per-view is going to come on, that preview of that fight will just come on. So
97 Black Box.
probably what it was.
Shout out to the Black Box, man. Everyone had that.
If we're talking early 90s, mid 90s, a lot of my friends' families, they were into Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And so, of course, I'm into it. I'm like, okay, this is the first guy who got my attention in boxing because of my friends' attention towards him. And so the first fight that got my attention was Julio Cesar Chavez versus Hector Camacho.
Good
Now,
fight.
this is going to get cultural here. Hector Camacho's shit caught my attention. He was doing that fast uppercut shit.
Yeah.
He had them sliced up shorts.
Yeah, he was
And
an
I was
entertainer,
like-
man.
I was, and as a fucking 11-year-old, I'm like, damn, that's the fly shit right there. You know, I'm like, that's the fly shit to me. You know, and I was thinking, oh man, he about to tear him up, man. Hector Camacho was all that. Man, that fight came around, and he just ran and went out like a sucker the whole night. And I was like, well, I learned the lesson there. And Chavez was the guy for a long time until, like, say, Frankie Randall came around a long way down the line. But it was Julio Cesar Chavez, and shout out to all my Mexican homies from way back in the day.
Shout out to all the Mexicans in LA. Salute. What were the other topics that Bamani brought up? Come on, topic keeper.
Just read it, Santiago. What it say?
You remember everything off of Box Break. You can't remember one text.
Well, it's the thing is that
Santiago's
the second thing is more of a statement than a question.
What was the statement?
With Thurman needing a warm up before Porter, who's coming off an injury, I can't see Danny fighting Spence or Crawford.
Oh, we already
next.
talked about that. I feel like. So now we open up to our topics. You guys have any topics you want to bring up? JP, Fern,
No, not
Santiago?
specifically.
Joe, are we done?
Marijuana's legal now.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, for all the border
Yo.
contestants that are coming down.
Okay, I got to hate on it for a second, guys.
What's your experience on it, man?
It's been horrendous, man. First off, fuck these lines. All you recreational users, you guys got to pick your own day to go. I'm sorry, I'm a medical user. I need it for medicine. It's important to me. It's urgent. I don't need to wait in your fucking goddamn lines. Okay. Secondly, the tax. Oh, okay.
What's the highest you've paid or what highest you've heard?
I get taxed 28%. I don't know if that's a obviously statewide thing, or if it's my
What's
shop.
the tax on liquor?
I don't know, but it's definitely not 28%.
19%. LBC, Lebret Collective. 19%.
See, that's still too much, man.
Pre-packed.
If you're a medical patient, that shit should be zero tax. I don't get it. In other states, users they don't get taxed. In Oregon, if you're a medical user, you do not get taxed, to my knowledge, because I was in Oregon when it was
If
legal.
you have your medical marijuana card because your primary physician gave it to you,
You said discount. It should still be no tax.
well, no. You get discount from the price that's listed on.
Oh,
the,
I get a discount.
on the shop.
I get a discount.
Oh,
I
you
think that's
do?
for everyone. I think
Oh.
everyone gets that discount. But you
No.
still get taxed. You still will get taxed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's bullshit, man. Like when I used to pay $40 or like $75 or $100, I'm now paying 60, 100, 120, you know, with respective to each of those prices.
Yeah.
You know, every time I go in, and plus the prices aren't listed. You know, half the time these shop workers aren't the best when it comes to knowing how to work a cash register, and there's a huge crowd. It gets pretty hectic sometimes, man. I know Adam TBV. You know, you all know Adam, right?
Yeah.
He's in LA. He's in Hollywood right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I should have hit him up for the show. Well, my bad. He tried going to a med shop. I think it was last night. They said the line was an hour wait.
Here.
An hour
Solution
wait.
for that. Weed Maps, the app.
No. You know another thing, obviously, but a bunch of shops closed down because they have to get obviously licensed through the city and the state, and that should take forever. So when after the gym on Monday when we sparred that 6 rounds, I drove to the clinic. Right? Guess what? It was fucking shut down. My favorite clinic with a $30 gram of wax. Shout out to you guys. It was closed.
You gotta get your shit together, y'all. We're gonna have to take a stand on that shit. We need our shit.
We just need some amendments. We need to get some shit better. Or I'm gonna go back to the dealer because I don't want 28% tax.
You know what? The street guy is back in his hands now. Because before,
Yeah, they are.
they couldn't get their shit off because of the shops. And now it's going back to the streets.
Well, I bet JP is extremely happy because he doesn't care because he doesn't buy off of the medical at the shop.
No, and also
He gets that stress
Matt,
weed.
I know you go to very nice establishments.
Yes.
However, in the hood, nothing has changed. Vern, you can maybe vouch for this. Living towards Farmdale and over, nothing's changed over there. So stop going down to all that bullshit, Matt. Come on down to the hood where nothing's changed.
One thing that could
Wait,
change.
when you mean by nothing's changed?
There's no tax. There's no lines at the dispensaries in the hood. The shit.
The look on Matt's face
It's very,
is priceless.
I've gone like middle of the day and there's been no one there, right? Obviously, but like if I go like 6 p.m.
I usually go around
Friday
7.
night,
7.
you're fucked. If
7.
you go to a big shop, like a big one, they're gonna have a line out there. They are.
Nothing's changed around my way. But another law that I'm actually more interested in, and I don't know if you guys have any interest in it, the gun law.
Which one?
Gun laws.
What about?
Just simple things like ammo. You know,
in this state of California.
California. So now you go to buy some shotgun shells, or it's locked up in the cage behind the counter. You can't just go grab your shells.
I think it should be.
No, it's been like that, man. You can't go to no gun store and just go grab your shit yourself. Turner,
No.
You could.
You definitely could.
As
You
of
definitely could.
December about 22nd, I bought some shotgun shells, some buckshot
Mhm.
from Walmart. Just bam. I went back Friday.
Yeah, because the New Year.
Them shits was locked up.
Yeah, I remember that law actually. I remember voting for it.
Them shits locked up.
Well, definitely.
And,
If I'll put it this way, the stuff that should be out should not be potentially dangerous to people, like soda,
we
water,
already
food.
have the most restricted gun law damn near
But-
there is.
Damn,
in
I
the
only
JP,
bought bullets from a gun shop. I never went to Walmart. I didn't know they
Walmart got
sell. I
good
didn't know
bullets,
they
man.
sell.
Oh, they do.
bullets, though.
Walmart has some good prices too.
I never
Hell
thought
yeah,
about
they
it.
do.
Walmart to
I
buy
got
no
a
fucking
100
bullets.
JP,
Skeet shot.
does the gun shells or the bullets being behind the counter, behind a locked glass screen, like cigarettes, for example, change anything?
So from what I understand, and I'm
Like for you, I'm talking about you. Like it doesn't change anything for you. You just have to go to the guy and say, "Hey,
Well,
can I get that shit?"
so from what I understand, it's more now like every time you buy ammo, it's like you're registering the ammo you buy.
You slide your ID.
I had to show
Because
my ID.
all those every bullet, every shell has a serial number on it.
So now rather than where it was just like no ID, let me get this and I roll, that ammo may be registered to you. So you understand, you know.
Yeah.
you're
I get you
restricted
now.
here,
I get you
Yeah.
now.
you know,
You're
and
right.
a
But
lot
I have
of
no
people
issue with
not
that.
liking it.
I have no issue with that. I mean, I hunt. I hunt frequently. I go shooting frequently. It's never been an issue for me because I did notice the change. I just didn't really think about that much.
Because if you buy a certain amount of ammo, man, you're gonna get the
We got
bells
that-
and whistles gonna be
You
going
got that
off.
goofy
shit.
ass shit on the back of all the ARs now. What is that thing back there so you can't pistol grip it now? It's like a safety thing now where you
Yeah, it's
can't
weird.
grip it properly, man. It's
Yeah.
it's
But you know the way around that for California. You buy the individual parts, you put them together yourself. That's always been the way around it
Yeah.
in California.
I don't know if you,
You
can
can actually redo
can
all
You
buy
that.
can.
anything new like that. It's
Trust-
completely restricted. Like I forget what the thing's called, but they got this thing now where you can't like
I know what you're talking about.
grip
Yeah.
it like a pistol is, so it make it uncomfortable for you to be able to I guess fire rapidly.
But see, I'm the type of person like I don't think anyone needs an AR. To be honest.
Oh shit!
What do you need an
Recreation.
AR for, JP?
I get it. Like I totally get that. Like gun enthusiast. I get that mindset. I've never been that way. I've been like, if I have guns, I want a handgun for self-defense at my home that's in a safe, and I want a few shotguns to go hunting with, and a few rifles to go hunting with, and I'm good. Because let's be real, if the police or the National fucking Reserve or whatever comes up with a tank, armed personnel carriers, and M16s and all that shit, it doesn't matter that you got an AR with a 15-round clip. Your ass is getting dusted, motherfucker.
Oh, and this is another part, and don't quote me. You have to go out there and do your own research. All the guns you've had prior to, say, 2018 that haven't been registered, you have to register them.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you.
So,
right.
now, if you got your daddy gun and your daddy passed it down to you,
Yeah,
you
get
better
that
go
shit
register that motherfucker.
Yeah.
People don't want to do that because now
People are lazy though.
You don't want to be no
And
the
so
system. Seem like
what people, the potential fear here is that the government, whatever, could say, oh, wow, Joe has 4 AKs from his dad from when he went to Vietnam because you registered them now.
yeah,
But back then your dad could like just write them over to you or something like this.
right.
But now people are knock out your door.
No,
Hey,
I get the I get
we
the
want
fuck you
those.
saying, man. Motherfuckers is in our motherfucking business
oh, they
more
deep
and
in.
more.
They deep in.
You know what?
Hey man, with what's
It's
happened
not-
in
it's
Vegas,
not-
hold on,
it's
very
not-
quickly. With what's happened in Vegas and shit like that, I'm okay with the guns. I am okay with it because again, in today's age, it doesn't matter what arsenal we have. And look at people like in Montana or Texas or any of those red states. Look at the arsenal they have, right? The government doesn't give a fuck about those people having guns. California used to be an open carry state back in the day. You know when they changed that?
Yeah, I do.
They changed it because Black Panther showed up, and I think it was the
Showed
San
up
Francisco courthouse with fucking ARs and shit.
Yeah.
And like, hey, it's open carry, it's legal.
right.
Ronald Reagan was the I think the fucking governor at the time.
Right, no
He changed
shit.
that shit within 3 days.
Yeah.
Within 3 days, they had a law.
Yeah.
We all know about guns in California because they're worried about black population. The reason why they don't carry in Montana and other states because it's all white people. And the government has always systematically not given a shit
Whoa.
about what white people do.
Matt woke. Matt is woke.
Major
bro.
woke. It's
woke.
all the
Matt
weed,
is
man.
woke.
It's all the weed.
Matt is woke, man.
Yo, go watch the Untold American Story on Netflix. I think it's called by Oliver Stone.
Untold History of the United States.
Thank you, Santiago. That shit is amazing. Go check that out.
Even with this, you just that's how we got outlawed. Same fucking way, like.
Well, yeah.
Woke Matt's still here. Hold on. Woke Matt's still here. Hold on. Okay. The reason why they outlawed cocaine, because you can go back and look at fucking articles that the Hearst family owned back in the day. They wrote about black workers being on cocaine and being able to work all day and all night.
Yeah,
And that's why we have to outlaw cocaine.
that was the call.
Boom. Cocaine was outlawed. Marijuana, all those Mexican farmers, man. We don't want them smoking that marijuana and getting wild. Outlaw fucking marijuana. Right? You can go down every heroin. The same thing. The
Yeah.
Chinese workers back in the railroad days.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, man. Like the drug war has always been racially charged. Nixon's administration, which started the war on drugs, admitted in the 90s, I believe, that the war on drugs was started to target liberals, hippies, and blacks. It's the only reason the war on drugs was started.
Yeah.
Woke Matt out.
Woke Matt. But yeah, we all know it's a lot of forms of systematic oppression, and that's
Throughout the world.
a whole nother topic of conversation. But
That's a rabbit hole, boy.
yeah, man.
Never
Um,
climb
What about
out
Border Wars? How are you feeling, Matt?
I'm feeling good, man.
Quick rundown.
I think
Actually, you
Shall
know,
we
from
talk some
someone,
Border
let's have
Wars?
JP ask the questions. you
yeah,
know,
man.
let's
I'm
go,
like-
JP. Let's go.
So
Let's go.
what do we got? We're a couple
Let's
days.
melt. Let's melt.
We're a couple days out, and me not being in it, but I can still understand the amount of anxiety and butterflies because this is highly anticipated by a lot of people. I know
Yes.
I'm psyched like it's a fucking real fight on TV.
Yo, you hyped, man.
Yeah.
You came in today, like into the garage, fucking hyped as shit,
I'm telling
man.
you.
Giggling and shit. You were hyped.
So I'm like, but dude, all of them is looking slim and trim. They look like they're really ready to fight. I'm surprised. So I just want to, I guess I'm gonna start with Fern.
Oh,
Fern,
back
so-
to you, Fern. Trying to get him on me. Fuck
Fern-
you.
Fern has allegedly here put in a record amount of rounds.
Insane.
We've seen a vast
Insane.
improvement.
Shout out to you, Fern.
Shout out
Thanks,
to Fern
guys.
for putting in all
I
the
know. A lot of
motherfucking
people have been
rounds.
saying Santiago is the most improved, but he does have competition with Fern.
Fern has put in a
Yes.
ton of rounds. I've seen some
no
recent
denying that.
sparring of him, and he's vastly improved. So Fern, but what I really, the first thing I want to know, and I do want you to talk about your improvements, but what I want to know is, are you nervous?
You know, I thought I'd be nervous. I'm not gonna lie. You know, as I started sparring more often at the gym, there's a lot of eyes always wandering, people whipping out their phones, recording me. So I feel like I've, you know, people that I don't know, not really much of an issue. But you know, I'm going to be sparring in front of family with TBV, and you know, it's gonna be recorded. It will be cemented in my TV.
It is the fight.
It is my legacy defining moment in TBV history, you know. So I put in the work.
So does that see? So what I'm getting at here is because I feel like in our way, this is like there's a kind of like a thing where you want to definitely win, and does that motivate you? You know, does those nerves, what you kind of have riding your reputation in the TBV world, kind of riding on things. You don't want to get beat up here, and so you know, does that motivate you to come out here and really put it on the line?
Definitely, yeah. Every day on the treadmill is when I think about that. I mean, it's something that I'm always giving it my 100%, and I'm not.
So when you're running, you like, yeah, Marvin, you got it.
Kevin
Jones. Kevin Jones, you got to come and watch. You going out, you running that extra, that quarter mile at the end hard. You turning that shit up on 10 for that last quarter mile. All for Kevin.
I'm going that extra round. I'm going that, you know, the extra round on everything, man. I mean, you know,
just because of it. So tell us about
well, my improvements. I've never. And one of the things I used to do a lot when boxing was I'd turn away when a punch would be coming. Is that if I'm looking away when I'm getting punched, the second punch is also coming, and I'm turning into the punch that's coming with me. So I've stopped doing that and learned to take them flush. But I mean, you know, so that is an improvement. Now that I'm able to keep looking at the punches coming at me, now I can think about angles. But the most improved thing is my cardio and my stamina in the ring. I can go 8 rounds. I can go 8 rounds.
I don't think nobody's doing that, Fern. Commend you. I don't think nobody in all the border wars have done that, man.
Tell us your key to
Not
victory,
even
Fern.
me.
What's your key to victory?
My keys to victory.
The only one might be doing that. Take that back is Minnie because he's a pro.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but other than as far as the novices that we all are, I commend you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But keys to victory without giving too much distance. My jab. Some body work.
Santiago, are you nervous?
Naturally. Honestly, my nerve is gonna do you. And this is a big moment. This is outside of, you know, those backyard brawls, spars that big boxing fans have done in the past. And, you know, like Matt said, me and Fern are competitors when it comes to our work ethic in the gym. Fern's put in the most rounds. I usually go to the gym for 7 hours, you know, a day. And so I feel prepared that I put in the work that I need to put in for myself. And I'm just waiting for Tuesday to roll along.
Well, Santiago, I don't know if anyone missed it. You said 7 hours a day. What the hell is you doing in the gym for 7 hours? You got to tell us, how do you spread this workout out, man?
Yeah, obviously a lot of people don't believe that I'm there that long, but you can easily ask Matt, Fern. You know, they're there to see me put in this time. But, you know, every session I always start off with some 35 minutes in the sauna. I do about an hour of swimming, 10 rounds of shadow boxing in the pool. I do another session in the sauna, same amount of length. And then, obviously I take an hour to go eat, make sure that, I keep my body, with energy that it needs for the workouts. When I get back, I do 15 miles on the bike, 4 miles on the treadmill. And then when I can, I do some sparring, 4 rounds, 6 rounds at a time. If I can, mitt work, bag work. And then I finish off every session with one more 35-minute session in the sauna.
Wow, man, that is
I've witnessed
really
that.
grinding.
Yes, yes.
My
Man.
God. And Santiago has a drastic weight loss, I must say. So Santiago, tell us your keys to victory.
Well, it's not much. Work my jab, set up my punches to the body, wear him down, and secure the win either by decision or by a late round stoppage.
Info Joe.
Yeah, my brother.
Infodamus.
Man, Joe's looking amazing over there, man. How old is you, Joe?
49.
What is it, Joe?
49, my brother.
49, man. Joe's looking 26. Look like, I mean, his skin is looking better since I last seen him.
His skin's looking better. Hold on. Pause to that.
Pause.
You can't talk on your man's skin like that.
Right, I'm sorry.
Oh, Fern, man, your skin's looking real good right now, man. See, like that's pause, man. You can't say that shit.
God damn. But yeah, Joe's looking real detoxed and cleansed and
Detox.
all types
Dr.
of
Dre
shit.
status.
So 200
No,
push-ups a
that's
day. Joe, tell us about what that grind's been like for a man your age.
Hey, man, I have never challenged my body in a way like this, man. Especially at this age, this is not this is a young man's sport. I must say that. And it's been taxing on my body. And it's not a day I don't wake up in pain, but I still make those 2-mile runs, and I still challenge myself I push myself to the max, man. This is the best shape I've been in, I would have to say, in my life. It sounds maybe, I wasn't that athletic in high school, or, I was more into music at that time. This has been an experience for me, man, and I'm taking it all in, and I'm enjoying it.
Were you the art nerd in high school? Were you like the art nerd? Like, were you like with the table that like wasn't the cool table? Like everyone like wore some weird shit.
Smoking weed.
you were the hipster table before there was a hipster table.
I've been smoking on the gym field weed since I was in junior high school. But hey, man, I know this has to be taxing on Alex too. Shout out to him for taking the fight, and we the oldest guys on the card, and don't be surprised if we still don't steal the show, man.
Yeah, man, you're the B-hop of TBV.
But don't get B-hopped.
That's
So,
right.
like Enrique.
You're the B-hop of TBV before.
So Joe, what would you say is most improved in your game?
I used to get tired fast.
Stamina's always the first thing, man. That improves.
In years of smoking cigarettes, I ain't gonna fucking lie. I used to smoke weed and cigarettes, shit. That's for years. You know what I'm saying?
We all did. Except for
Yeah.
Santiago, of course.
But
Straight
this
edge.
border wars has actually made me healthier. You know what I'm saying? And this experience, man, has changed my life, man. Shit, people ask me, "Are you still gonna take those runs? Are you still gonna do this?" Yeah, I'm like, shit, I might as well. Shit, I'm feeling the best I ever felt in my life. I might try to stick with. Not
Obviously, cut back
boxing,
on it, but like you can still work out. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So, what was your question?
So let me ask you, Joe, what do you think Alex is thinking? What do you think his strategy against you will be?
It's a good question, man. I haven't seen enough of him. He hasn't. I don't know if he's seen me, but from what I think I'm faster than him. I think I can punch harder than him. I think I'm more technically sound than him. And not to say you have to have a bunch of tools to win the fight, but I think the tools that I have is what's just gonna make the difference. All this boxing shit in here, I haven't just started putting up this shit since Border Wars. This is something my past time. I would just like to come back and punch the bag, stay, You know, with that, you know, you on these streets in LA, at least you want to have a G dropper. We'll come back here and fuck with the bags, but I think his is brand new. You know what I'm saying? This is really his real experience, and it's mine too. I ain't never had a level of fight like this. And
sounds like you're counting out Lemon. Sounds like you're pretty overconfident there.
Hey man, I wake up. That's how you gotta be, man. I'm not to say that I don't respect him in his game, that because I work on defense, like I'm gonna walk through him. But shit, in my mind, I'm gonna raise my hand at the end of the day. I already envision myself jumping on the ropes, putting my hands up. Like, yeah.
Hey, did you practice that yet? Have you practiced that?
Have I practiced it?
Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
Someone's gonna slip.
ran.
Someone's gonna slip and fall, man. That's the best part.
I have ran, and that in my mind, with my headphones on, I put my hands up in the air, like to myself, like at the end of my run, or you know, something at the end where it's really making you push. Where you don't want to run anymore, you want to stop, but you be like at the end, be like, ah. You know, I visualize that shit like that.
So, Joe, what's going to be your mentality going in? What will you be looking to do? What's your game plan? Is you going in there for the knockout, or are you going in there? You know, what are you looking to do when you get in there?
I'm going in there to box smart, but if I see the opening, I'm gonna take it.
All right. Now, man, I don't know what y'all was talking about. Who's the headline this? Who's the headline that? But if you ask me, there is no goddamn question who the headliner on this thing is.
Damn motherfucking right, JP.
There's no question who the headliner is.
Somebody else recognizes the pure stardom.
This man
that's
has
right
been
here.
controversial since the day he arrived.
Not really. Like when I arrived, I was all nice.
I mean,
y'all changed me.
TBV tainted.
TBV tainted me. Okay, I was a
should
nice
be,
young kid from Long Beach.
an
Okay,
award. We should add another award in the TB Awards. Shit Talker of the Year.
I would always
And
win that.
Matthew Hunter is the best shit talker TBVF may has
Like
ever
Justin
seen.
Bieber.
And so to me, there's no question who the headline is. And with that said,
Mhm.
I want to ask you, Matthew Hunter,
Yes.
what's the build-up like for you? Because you have to understand, and everybody knows this, you have a lot to lose here. We're gonna see, is Matt all fucking talk? Does Matt Canary's ass with an alligator's mouth?
Well, it's a throwback right there.
Does he have
Like
it?
I ain't never heard that one before.
You haven't
That's
heard that?
classic. No.
That's
Or
a
is Matt
classic.
real deal? Or is Matt a real one, as we say?
Y'all
Matt,
gonna find out.
How you feeling coming into this, man?
I felt absolutely amazing. The one problem that Warren did is that he did not fight me in July. I 100% underestimated him, underestimated the challenge it was. And I think you all can probably agree with me on that. That the difference in preparation for that event is very different than the preparation for this one.
Yeah. I agree.
So-
I agree.
No matter what, I feel like I got the 9-month training camp. I mean, none of you all had that. I did. I have that in my back pocket. Number two, I've already fought. Regardless of it being an L, having that experience does help. 100% does help. You know, like I when talking about being nervous, everyone gets butterflies. Like I don't think that's nervous. 100% everyone gets butterflies before going in there. Or even if you
It's
like do,
natural.
or if you do like heavy visualization before the fight, your heart starts racing sometimes, maybe. You know, like that's natural. But I'm not nervous about it. I feel like I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna do my shit. Mystic Matt, KO in 2. You know, if things don't go that way, I know I have enough tools and enough talent and skills to go to plan B, C, D, E, F, or whatever plan I need to go to whoop Warren's ass. So I feel 100% great. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm fly as a motherfucker. I feel like I'm ready to go.
Hometown
I want this
advantage.
weigh-in to happen. I want to collect that check. Warren, make sure you make weight, motherfucker. Bitch ass. Okay? I'm coming
Let's
for his
go.
I'm coming for his ass. I can't wait for Tuesday because a bunch of y'all have been doubting me, and I can't wait to prove y'all wrong. I can't wait to laugh in y'all face, and I'm gonna go party it up that night. So it's gonna be fun.
That's what I'm saying, baby.
You think I'm a shit talker now? Wait till Tuesday.
My
Wait.
God, I can only imagine. So a lot of people, the biggest thing out there about Matt, I think, is Matt's durability. And so I haven't seen Matt in about 2 or 3 months, give or take. I don't know how long it's been. Matt, to me, obviously looks more sturdy. He's stronger. He's more ripped than the last time I've seen him. So Matt,
thank you.
Tell us about your how you've gone about doing that.
Usual day is, I fluctuate between either a practice a day or 2 practices a day. Especially towards like the later half of the camp. I would come to Gold's Gym in the evening, the Rock in the morning. Depends if it's sparring. If it's sparring day, it's very different. If it's not sparring day, I'm doing at least cumulative, because I do take breaks. I'll do other stuff. I do like a circuit. I do cumulative at least 6 to 9 rounds on the bag. I run at least 2 miles in the gym. If it's a sparring day, I'll do at least 3 rounds on the bag. Maybe run a half mile before the sparring session. Then spar 3 to 6 rounds, however I'm feeling that day. I did do some strength and conditioning and weightlifting, especially with Joe back in the early part of camp. I stopped doing that in terms of the machines at the Rock, but then I supplemented it with push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, more just natural work at the house. And then I definitely implemented a nightly run as well. So if I didn't get that eating session with Fern at the Gold's Gym or Santiago at Gold's Gym, I'll run another 2 miles at night.
So Warren has obviously looked impressive in some of the footage we've seen of him.
Yes.
So tell us some of the things that you think he does well and what you'll do to combat it.
I think he throws combinations pretty well. I think his ability to put shots together is something not necessarily underrated, because people have noted it, but it's definitely something that's there. Definitely seems fast. Definitely seems athletic. Definitely seems like he has some natural boxing ability. I think we can all agree on that. How do I combat that? You have to find out on January 16th. Because that's all in the game plan, baby. I'm not going to give that away yet.
Fair enough.
That's going to be on Patreon.
So let me ask you, so what's your game plan going in? Are we going to see the
You're
Portuguese
see me.
Mayweather?
No. I'll give that much away. You won't see the usual me. Like even Nessa, like Matt Styles, like the boxer, right? Like you all know that's my natural style. But nah, I'm gonna adapt. I'm a fucking butterfly in this shit. Don't worry about it, okay? Like Warren's gonna have something to deal with. He's gonna have somebody in his face all night long. He's gonna have to deal with me. He's gonna have to adapt to me.
So you've talked a lot, Matt.
Yes.
Done a lot of talking.
I love talking.
And it's very close now.
I love working. I love eating.
Put up or shut up time. So how much pressure have you put on yourself for this? I have to imagine, when you're on that treadmill and it starts to hurt deep in your chest, you have to say to yourself, I have to go just that much further because I've talked a lot of shit.
It's funny because there's definitely that feeling of, oh, I need to keep pushing it, right? Because everyone gets that point where they need to push through the workout. My motivation is never the pressure or I've talked a lot of shit or what if I lose? It's never that. It's always about, I want to be the motherfucking best. I want to be the guy to put on the show. I want to be the guy where everyone comes back after watching it and going, man, Matt's a real one, man. Matt's a real motherfucker, man. I don't want to mess with him. I want that. And I think that's what I'm aiming for. And that's what motivates me.
So that's all I got, man. I'm excited for this shit. I'm gonna take off of work early just to get up there. I'm taking hours off work.
Hey man, just you talking about it, I got excited about this shit. Like, goddamn, that shit
Let's go.
A couple of days, right?
California,
jitter time,
TBV,
baby.
West Coast, SoCal going fucking 5-0, man. I'm telling you, he's getting a fucking W. He's getting a W. And I think they're both getting knockouts, in my opinion. Joe's 100% getting a knockout, probably the first round. KO in 2. Sal's getting a knockout within 2. I mean, TBV West Coast is just heating it up.
5 straight.
5 straight.
Like that.
Hey, and shout out to Fern for these shirts too, man.
Yes, shout out to hey, Kaz Weezy, Enrique. Shirts. You got some competition, motherfucker.
So I had this was inspired. Check it out.
You're gonna see it January 16th. That's all you're gonna worry about.
Let's go. Stand up.
If you want to buy some, you can hit me up on Patreon.
That it's a 90s inspired.
I like the little retro coloring.
Yeah,
I love
the
that
retro, and then they got the boxing faces. It could be anybody.
Tight and
Might be
right.
Matt. Could be Matt next year on there on the West
shit.
Coast.
I mean, that's me now, man. Don't worry about it. I'm the face of the West Coast. I'll continue to be the face of the West Coast. I'll continue to be the motherfucking star. And Warren, your ass is mine. Pause. I don't give a fuck. Yo, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna hurt him so much, man. Y'all don't know it. Y'all don't know it. Y'all put your boy in a fight that he's not ready for. Y'all put your boy in a fight that he is definitely not mentally ready for. I'm coming at you, Warren.
Woo!
Get ready.
And then you guys are having a beer.
Love it. I
Nah,
love
man.
it. I
Nah.
love
No
it.
beer.
Yeah, Warren,
love it.
pay me that $1,000 that you owe me from Florida, and we can have a beer.
Oh, that's expensive beer.
Matt's not
that's
coming to
expensive beer.
be friends. I'm gonna tell you that now. Matt don't even want him around. These guys are out here as of today. Matt, like I don't even want to see you.
Will they make it to the?
Yo. Jose wanted them all to come here for this podcast. Jose, what the fuck were you thinking? You think I'm gonna? You think I'm gonna let? You think I'm gonna like? Not only my
He knows
opponent
there's no
show up-
security here.
No, JP and Info Joe are the security. Look at these motherfuckers, okay? They're gonna knock some motherfuckers out, okay? You think I'm gonna let Santiago's opponent show up? Nah, we don't work like that. This is LA. This is the LA style, LA tone. Get ready for my tone, motherfucker. Oh, man. JP, you got me hyped, man. I'm ready for this.
I'm excited, dude. This is pay-per-view to me.
Shout out to patreon.com /
These guys have trained a
Boxing Voice.
long time, man, and that's to be respected. That's to be definitely respect. These guys put in a lot of hours, a lot of time. They really did it. A guy like me understood the commitment these guys were about to make, and I flaked. I knew I couldn't do it. So, but these
Shout out
guys
to you
are
for admitting
really
that.
putting in that fucking time. So, man, it's gonna be a good time on that Tuesday.
And if I'm not mistaken, if you want to watch the fights, you have to be on the $5 tier.
I don't know
Huh?
about that yet.
Not yet.
I don't know about that yet. Don't
Okay.
quote for on that. But
No
that is a
trouble.
potential. So if you're not on that $5 tier, you may not be on the tier to watch.
At least it
Border
was
Wars.
last time. So I mean,
Last time it was like that. Most likely this time it will be like that. I have yet to talk to upper management,
nice.
aka just Ness, about that. But yeah, we're gonna get into that. I think that's it, guys. Right? We're all good.
It's
It's
going
gonna be
down.
admission in that thing, huh?
What?
Price of admission to get into the gym? Or?
No.
Oh man, you guys, all right, do that.
Should we
We're gonna
care?
talk. We're gonna talk more about
Turn
that off air because we don't want the public because we don't want random people showing up. You know, we can have a select few showing up, especially with how it's gonna be done. But that's been Wake and Bake episode. God knows what it is. Who gives a fuck?
Number 4.
I may split this up into 3 parts probably.
Okay.
Because we had 3 distinct, very different parts of this show.
Right.
Woke Matt, Border Wars, and then regular boxing.
Yeah.
So I mean, post it all together as one part, so you probably can see that first. I mean, split up for you people individually. I'm at Peterson. You know where I'm at. You guys want to outro anything?
Fernando, you,
PCB family. Peace to all y'all.
Look forward to seeing all the participants and everyone that comes to the Border Wars event. Monday's the weigh-in, Tuesday's the fights.
see you guys there. My name's Fernando, and I hope to be on another episode of Wake and Bake.
You definitely need to talk louder into the mic. Future reference.
Okay.
Just want you have a very soft voice. Pause.
Thank you.
Tom, he got a radio voice. Oh, yeah.
Evening, everyone. Evening.
JP is very high. Peace.
Peace.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, their net is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com / ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
No other sight in the game could see the boxing voice.